a Cricket customer, just enter your wireless number. Let me read that back. That's 56357905553. That right? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Now I'll need your security pin. That worked. Let's go get what you need. Just FYI, your current plan is our 1 gigabyte plan, which expires August 1st. You have a credit balance of $30. Your next bill cycle starts on August 2nd, and you will need to pay $0 for your current rate plan before that time to keep your service active. Let's make this quick and easy. Your choices are payments and auto pay. Press 1. To buy add-ons like data, international dialing, or mobile hotspots, press 2. Sure, I'll get one of our best folks. Just a sec. Oh, and by the way, the lawyers wanted me to tell you that your call might be monitored or recorded.
That they want to talk about me having a call blocker. And I've always had a call blocker on my phone. Because I don't take calls that are private. You may not be able to hear these people because the volume that I ask you to wait a minute.
Welcome to Cricket. Your future Lydia. How can I assist you today?
Well, I would like to find out, since I had never discussed this with your staff, why you wanted to cite the fact that you guys are changing the facts of what's going on. You know, every time I always have blocked private numbers.
Yes.
Now, I never discussed that with your company. Never. And apparently, you have you changed my account. And what you did, and I found this out when I deleted my voicemail and then reinstated it, that apparently your remote computer has me on extended absence. And that means that all of my phone calls are going to go directly into my answering machine. And I don't want that to happen. As a matter of fact, since that started to happen 45 days ago, I've lost $1,200 worth of work. Now, the thing is, I never discussed this with you. And I've had a call blocker on my phone to just block private numbers. And that's all it does. It just blocks private numbers.
Right.
And the thing is, I started to think about this over a month ago because maybe that's interfering. So I took that off my phone. And I never discussed it with you. So, why is somebody giving me this bull about, well, you have a call blocker on your phone? No, it's just for private numbers. My clients never call me with a blocked number. They know that I don't take them. But the thing is, over a month ago when this problem started to happen, I kind of started to think that I would remove the call blocker, because I can just turn off my phone in the middle of the night, because I've got a nut who's been calling me for like over a year at 5 o'clock in the morning. So I just turn my phone off when I'm going to sleep. That's what I've been doing. So I want to know why you guys want to keep me on extended absence instead of just changing that setting in your remote computer. And I also want to know how you knew I had a call blocker.
Yes, I'm listening.
Apparently, you guys have the facility to get into my phone by remote control and checking out my apps.
Oh my gosh.
I never told you that. Or perhaps, you heard my message. When you guys, it took me almost 2 months to get a trouble ticket filed about the problem I'm having. I've never experienced, I've been with a lot of cell phone companies.
Yeah.
And I've never had trouble getting a trouble ticket filed. But you guys don't seem to want to do that.
Yeah.
So, you guys tried to call me. And maybe you heard my message that if you call me on a private number, I'm not going to get your call. So now you're telling me that the reason why my calls are going directly into my answering machine is because I have a call blocker. Well, I've been having trouble with you guys for a year. You've lost me a considerable amount of money in business. Because, you don't want to send texts for me sometimes. You lower my data exchange speed to 0.5 kilobyte per second, which totally violates your own terms and conditions. And that's why I retained an attorney. And we're forming a class action suit against Cricket.
Oh gosh.
Now, I want to know why you changed my account without my permission and put me on extended absence, because I found that out when I was advised by one of my attorney's expert witnesses who's going to be testifying against you, that what I should do is I should delete my voicemail and then reinstate it. And while doing that, I was told I was on extended absence. Now, when I call you guys and you ask me to punch in my telephone number, because that's what the message is telling me when I first call you, and I punch in my telephone number contains like 4 threes. And in order for me to allegedly be able to change my extended absence status, I'm supposed to press the number 3. But you guys aren't going, but that doesn't work, because in your remote computer you have overridden whatever command I make, and you can do that. My attorney has 3 expert witnesses. They all have technical experience with cell phone companies. One from Cellular One, another one from AT&T directly, and Cellular One is an AT&T company. And, they're experts. And they put me onto this. that you people are overriding my commands. Now, I have filed a trouble ticket, but I know what the trouble is. The trouble is that you're cheating me from the very beginning. You know, right now, you guys don't want me to be able to communicate with anybody unless I have Wi-Fi. But for over a year, I was just able to use my phone account to text people, and I didn't have to have Wi-Fi. And I still don't have to have Wi-Fi because I'm using a phone that I bought from you. Now you say that people can bring their own phone, but now apparently you're not even letting people text on their own phones. Yeah? So that was a change that you made in your policies?
So, first, may I ask something?
No, please answer the question. This is a change you made in your policies.
No, because to be quite honest with you, sir, I feel like that is incorrect information. We don't access customers' accounts without
Bullshit!
their permission.
Oh, you don't? Well,
No.
I have a text that I received from you people like 7 or 8 months ago telling me that you changed my account and I hadn't asked you to do it. So I know that you'll do that.
Yeah, but you see, that means then that is fraud because
No, it's not. No, it is not. Now, in my jurisdiction, where I live, when I call you up and your voice message that connects me with you tells me that this call may be recorded for quality control and training purposes, in the jurisdiction where I live, that means I can record the conversation legally, and there isn't anything that you can do about it. I have recorded over 100 hours of conversations that I've had with you, and you admitted to me that you changed my account, and I hadn't asked you to do it.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah.
look, this isn't rocket science. But you guys are doing this to me because you know that I'm suing you. And you know that it's going to be a class action suit. Now, I didn't want to sue you, but from the very beginning you lied to me. It says in your terms and it says on the first page of your website, you can bring your own phone. But you actually can't, because you can't use any of the features on your phone. And you know, the phone that I brought to Cricket was a very nice Samsung phone. And I got your most expensive account. I was spending $70 a month to have a hotspot. Now the hotspot costs $10 more, and it's actually a separate account. 3 weeks after, excuse me, don't talk. You won't hear what I'm saying. So I joined Cricket after vetting you, asking you questions for more than a week. And I decide, well, I'll do Cricket. Let's see what happens. And I found out, because after I had used my hotspot for 3 weeks, you cut it off. And you told me, well, you can't use your hotspot with a phone that you got to buy a phone from us to use a hotspot. Now that's amazing. You didn't tell me that when I first signed up. So I paid your extortion, and I bought an LG Spree from you for $20, which by the way turned out to be defective. And I found out from LG when I called them that you had previously sold this same phone to somebody else, and you returned and got it returned as defective. And instead of shredding it like you're supposed to do, because this is what LG's telling me, you put it back in your warehouse and you sold it to another sucker, namely me. That is not supposed to happen. The people who make LG phones and Samsung phones and all the phones you use have told me that these phones can't be repaired. You have to shred them. It would, you think that they're gonna. Do you know how much it costs to make one of these phones? Pennies. It costs pennies. Do you think that these companies that turn out a jillion of these things a day are going to jack around with trying to fix something which can't be fixed? I mean, the whole thing is molded together. There's no way to get into it. That's what they told me. So you took a phone that you should have thrown away or disposed of, and you ended up giving it to me for $20. Now, then I had to get another phone from you. So I got a ZTE. And you know, I've used ZTE equipment before. I think ZTE is really good. And then you decided that you would put my account on extended absence, which sends my phone calls directly to my answering machine. And sometimes I don't even find out that I get a voicemail from an hour to a day later. And by doing that, you have pretty much ruined my reputation as being reliable. So that's another reason why I'm suing you. But now this thing that I'm hearing about, well, the reason you're not getting your calls is because you have a call blocker. I've always had a call blocker. You get the app, you install it in your phone. But that doesn't prevent me from receiving calls that I get from a number that's displayed. But you know, when this started to happen, I started to think, well, this crap I'm getting from the Play Store may be interfering with my service. So I deleted that thing almost 2 months ago. So I don't have a call blocker on my phone. And, you know, I mean, I already know, because my lawyer's expert witness told me that your company, a company which is an AT&T subsidiary, has the ability to remote into my phone. You can tell me otherwise, but a guy who is going to get me over $50,000 because of the amount of hours I've spent on the phone with you. I get $500 an hour when I play in a recording studio. And I can sue you for that because I have to waste time talking to you on the phone. And it should not behoove a person who is a customer to have to tell you, why don't you remove, you're going to have to go into your own equipment and remove that extended absence crap. And you're refusing to do it because you know that you did it. It's in my file. I know that you did it because when I deleted my voicemail and hooked it up again, I was told to punch 3 if I didn't want to be on extended absence. But your remote computer has been programmed to override any command I make from my phone. And I know that because when I punch in my telephone number, which has 4 3s in it, you can read those. You just don't want to read it when the 3 is the command to take me off of extended absence. Because I'm not giving you $70 a month anymore. Now, there was some kind of crap about how my SIM card may be defective. So last week I had to drive a 6-mile round trip in the rain, in heavy traffic, and I got another SIM card for $10. And that didn't solve the problem. And then people started telling me, well, your phone might be defective. Well, you know, I already knew it wasn't, because when this crap started, I got a subscription for my telephone, because they do Android phones as well as computers. And they remoted into my phone, and they checked it out. There's nothing wrong with my phone. And then I find out that you have me on extended absence and my phone won't ring and I'm losing business. You guys, it took me more than a month. It took me quite a bit of trouble to get a trouble ticket made a month and a half ago. And when your technician, if you want to put it that way, called me, my phone went right into the answering machine. But instead of continuing to try to solve the problem, and you know what it is, my being on extended absence is in my file. It has to be.
Sir? May I say something?
No, not yet. I'm not done.
Okay.
You put me on extended absence, and you're lying about that. And you have made your remote computer so that it will ignore my direction to remove that. And there's nothing wrong with my phone, because Geek Squad tells me that there isn't. In addition, you never give me high speed. High speed is supposed to be 3 megabytes per second. That's what customer service and a supervisor told me. Now, when I'm not talking to 611, I don't have any power bars on my phone. I don't have any signal bars at all. But when I call 611, my signal bars light up like a Christmas tree. I couldn't have any more signal bars. There aren't more. They're all lit up. That is also something that's controlled from your remote computer. So say 3 experts who are going to testify against you in federal court during a class action lawsuit. You people are messing with my feng shui. Now you can talk.
First of all, I'd like to start by saying I do apologize.
Well, look, your apology doesn't feed the kitty unless you want to give me the $1,200 I've lost in work since this started. Since you intentionally put me on extended absence. Now, if you're really sorry, you will take me off extended absence, and you will leave me off. Because I have to go, you guys won't refresh my phone if I'm sitting comfortably in my home. Now to get my phone refreshed, I have to make a 6-mile round trip to your store. And you didn't used to have stores here. The way I got onto Cricket was I went to Aaron's furniture store. You know, people who sell furniture stores know nothing about phones.
Yeah.
And you know what? So why am I being told by customer service representatives that there are technicians at the store that can help me with my phone? Because even though there is now a Cricket store, and you know, there wasn't a Cricket store here for months and months and months, almost a year into my tenure with you, but now you have a Cricket store. You've got 2 of them in Davenport.
Yeah.
But you know what those stores tell me? That they're not technicians. They do not troubleshoot the phones. The only thing they do is write up accounts. But you people have been telling me for almost a year that the people who work in your stores are technicians and they can troubleshoot my phone, and the store at 422, and I have recorded their statement. They don't do that. That is not part of what they do as part of their contract with you. So you guys already know that.
Basically, what happens in the store.
You know, you're going to have to speak up because I can't hear you. But then again, I wouldn't be surprised. Even though I have all my all my signal bars are lit up. So you're going to have to speak a little louder.
Okay. So basically, sir, yes, what you're saying is correct. What happens is in the store, they're not really technical consultants. They're just there to activate lines, help you with your account, etc.
Well, you know, it's nice of somebody from customer service to admit that after I tell them that I have recorded the statement from the people who are in the store. But you know, you guys, wait a minute. Now that I know, and I have proof of that so for a federal judge and a jury to hear, now you're willing to admit that. Interesting. What's really interesting, though, is that when these people refresh my system, I'm allowed to get a couple of phone calls before that command is overridden and I am put back on extended absence. Now I want you to tell me what you know about extended absence. Isn't that something? Isn't that something that the customer is supposed to choose, not you?
So basically, like we had spoken about earlier on, is that yes, you give me permission to access your account, and then extended. No one chooses extended absence because that's like saying all your phone calls are now going to go to voicemail.
Well, that's what you did. Now, if you now you want okay, now I'm going to give you my telephone number and my PIN number and my name. We are not going to mention that again. All right? Now, the thing is, that is something that I'm supposed to choose. If I don't want my phone to ring, if I want to vet all my calls that are coming in, that's something that people do. They do that with Cellular One. They do that with T-Mobile. You know, that's something you can do. That's something you can choose. When you set up your voicemail, you choose that. And when you're setting up your voicemail, if you are on extended absence, you are given the number 3 to press if you want to discontinue that. But your remote computer is set up so that I cannot override the remote computer's command from my phone. That does not mean my phone is defective. That means that you're messing with me. So say 3 experts who actually have actual technical training. Those people went to school to be technicians. Now I'm told that the technical department at Cricket are people who are hired to handle customer service calls, and you get a brief orientation, and you're given the manuals to look at. But to tell you the truth, there isn't anybody in your facility who is actually a technical person, because I've been told that by a supervisor, actually more than one supervisor, and by many customer service representatives. I mean, you didn't go to technical school, did you?
Okay, just me personally, I'm not a technical consultant.
That's right. And the technical consultants that were supposed to deal with the previous trouble ticket that had been filed, one that I thought had been filed for over a month, until this month, on the 23rd, when I found out no trouble ticket had been filed. So, I'm on the blower here and I'm complaining, and somebody allegedly files a trouble ticket. And I receive a call from somebody who's supposed to be a technician. And my call goes directly into my answering machine. As a matter of fact, I watched that call arrive. I did not get the voicemail, though, for over an hour. And the thing is, what you did, what technical did, when they had prima facie evidence protected to them that this problem exists, that my phone calls are going directly into my answering machine, what they did is they wrote in my file that the problem was solved, and they canceled that trouble ticket, and they didn't work on the problem at all.
Jeff, sorry to disturb you. My system just went flat. Just give me one moment so I can get your information again, okay? Just give me one moment.
My system went flat. Does that mean I'm going to have to give you my phone number again?
Yes, please.
You know what? And you know what? Okay, fine. I'm gonna have to pause this, people. Bear with me. Well, as you can hear now, I'm being disconnected. Well, I can pause this. But when I come back, I'll probably say, well, they hung up.
Okay. So in regards to what we were speaking about previously, Chief, the case has been opened in regards.
Yeah, I know. And you know what I believe is going to happen? Because I know that lightning strikes twice in the same place. I think you'll call me up. I think you're going to call me up. And I think my phone call is going to go right into my answering machine. And then you're going to say the problem is solved, and you'll destroy that trouble ticket. Because that's what you've done before. You just did it. And then I had to bitch at you guys for over an hour to get you to file another trouble ticket. I'm getting tired of this. I'm getting tired of being lied to. I don't even know if a trouble ticket's been filed. Maybe I got a fake number that I entered into, made a document out of and have on my computer. I'll find out, though, in federal court, along with 1,668 other people. Now, there isn't any reason for this to continue. You know what the problem is as well as I do. I want you to go in, or you connect me with a technical person right now, because I can't call them back and they apparently can't call me. And that technical person can get into your remote computer and remove my extended absence status. That can be done right now. We don't have to wait a week for me to find out that you're going to screw me around for another week. And I found out, when I changed my phone back to the one that I brought. One that I was able to use to get on Facebook and to text on Facebook messaging and to do everything else. But now I have evidence that if you bring your own phone, Cricket won't even let you send a text. So today, I switched phones and I'm using a phone that I bought from you, the ZTE. And I was told by the customer service representative at 422 East Locust Street in Davenport that there would be no problem with that. But on a phone that I bring to Cricket, you're not going to let me text unless I'm connected to Wi-Fi. I'm not connected to Wi-Fi now. I've been texting all morning. Now, if that changes, that will mean that you are a technical person, or that you told technical to make it so that I couldn't text from the phone I bought from you. You will have changed that. Don't do it. I wouldn't advise you. I get work through text. And in order for me sometimes to get work, I have to send people pictures. And if you cut my data speed transfer down to a half a kilobyte per second, that won't happen and I won't work. And that's what you've been giving me. Because I got a thing that will check my speed that I've got in my phone. And since I got an account now for Geek Squad to be able to get into my phone, they can check my speed too. And every time I have not been able to send a picture, SMS, I get told that I'm getting like less than a kilobyte per second of speed. And that violates your own terms and conditions because I'm supposed to get a minimum of 128 kilobytes per second. That's what I'm paying for. But you don't want to give that to me because I won't give you $70 a month anymore. Because I can prove you were cheating me on my hotspot data. I can prove that. You people ought to be ashamed of yourself. I didn't dicker with you. I didn't give you an argument. You told me how much money you wanted and I paid you. And you immediately began to cheat me.
I'm sorry, Jason, about that.
No, are you sorry? Well, good. If you're so goddamn sorry, you are going to get connected with technical. And you're going to have them take me off of extended absence.
I will do that. Give me a moment, please. You've reached Warranty and Online Device Returns Call Center. Para español, oprima 3.
It's bullshit.
If you are calling for any other reason, please select one of the following. For question about your invoice, your
See what they did?
or general health.
That was easy.
1. For insurance.
That was easy for them to do.
If you purchased your phone within the last year and it is in need of repair, we will be with you shortly to assist you in filing a warranty claim. We also help customers who bought a phone on our Cricket website within the last 7 days that would like to return it. Okay, let's get started with your 2 warranty options. Your first option is free. With this option, you should expect a replacement in about 5 business days after sending back your broken phone. The second option will require you to provide a valid credit card to pay for shipping and also a deposit for the value of the replacement phone.
You pay for shipping?
You will receive a phone within 1 or 2 business days, depending on what shipment.
No, I'm keeping my broken phone so I can display that to a jury.
Our representatives will have more information on both choices. Please be aware that in order to qualify for a warranty replacement, your broken device must not have any.
I did not ask for warranty.
If you are calling for any other reason, please select one of the following. For a question about your invoice, your bill, your service plan, or general help, please press 1. For insurance, press 2. If you are all loyal.
Now I pressed 1.
If you are already a loyal Cricket customer, please enter your wireless number now.
Watch this. I'm going to be pressing 3 4 times.
The number you entered is 56357905553. If this is the desired entry, press 1. Otherwise, to re-enter, press 2. After today's call, a survey will be available. Please use this opportunity to give us feedback regarding the representative who helped you.
I think I've already given you enough feedback.
Your wait time will be approximately 1 minute.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I'm 41 minutes and 41 seconds into this call. So at 42:43, there ought to be somebody on the line. I'm not going to pause this. Let's see what happens.
You are calling to process a warranty exchange for a manufacturer's defect and not physical damage. Please be ready to verify your phone number, billing address, and phone identification.
No, that's not what I'm going to verify on this
This will be
section
listed
of the
as your
call.
ESN or IMEI number.
They do this to you all the time. They tell you they're going to do something, and then they transfer you to somebody else who's actually a flat catcher. Oh, amazing.
Hello?
Hello. Who am I speaking to, please?
This is Alicia.
Uh-huh. You know, I was just talking to a customer service representative. And I didn't ask to speak to you. But I have found in over a year that this is what you guys do to avoid providing service. You see, the problem here is that somebody has placed on my account and hooked up and ordered your remote computer to put me on what you call extended absence, which I do not want.
Okay, so yes, you would...
Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm talking to you because, you know, I consider part of my warranty the ability to get service. And I'm not getting that for over a year. Now, I'm not going to be able to talk to the person who just answered some questions and lied to me. Now, I don't know. Excuse me. I wasn't done. This is something else that customer service representatives and supervisors like to do. They like to talk over you. I'm not having that anymore because I have paid an attorney $700 as a retainer. And we have 1,668 people, the last time I talked to my attorney, who are filing a class action suit against you. I'm doing that. You have cost me. You have cost me. You see, you want to do this again? You want to pipe up?
That's the problem.
The problem is that your system has me on extended absence, and the nature of my business is that people are able to get a hold of me on the phone instantly, so I can go play in a supper club or something at the last minute because they had a musician who didn't show up for work. And when you put me on extended absence, you removed my ability to contact those people instantly. And to date, that has cost me $1,600.
Okay, well, sir, you need to speak to customer service.
Well, you know what? I was speaking to customer service, and I told customer service that since I knew what the problem was, that they need to get a hold of technical, and get technical to go into your remote computer and take me off of extended service. Now, as you can tell, and I just gave you my phone number, I gave you my PIN number, and there are several threes in that number. And when I deleted my voicemail and then reinstated it, I was instructed to punch 3 to take me off of extended absence. But you don't want to pay any attention to that command because your remote computer has been programmed to ignore any command that I give my voicemail, because you want me on extended absence, apparently. Now,
I apologize for that.
I need to talk to a supervisor.
Okay, I can get you to customer service, and they can get you to a supervisor.
They generally don't.
Well, there's nothing I don't.
This is all part of your scam.
Okay.
I shouldn't be talking to you. I shouldn't be talking to you. I should be talking to the same representative who has allowed me to acquire the more evidence that I need to totally seal this case. Yeah, I'm going to have to go through it again.
Wanted me to tell you that your call might be monitored or recorded.
You're damn right it's recorded on both ends.
Welcome to Cricket. You're speaking to Renee. How would you like me to assist you?
I need to speak to a supervisor.
Can you stay on the line while I get you a supervisor?
Good, and listen, I've already given you guys all of the information that I need to give you 3 times during this call, which has lasted 48 minutes and 35 seconds.
Oh no, I'll be quick. I'll tell him that you've been waiting for a while now.
Well, wait a minute. We know, look, I know what the problem is. I know what the problem is. I was talking to a customer, excuse me! I was talking to a customer service representative. I told them what my attorney's experts told me. All right? When you put me on extended absence, when you ordered your remote computer to ignore any command that I give it to try to get off of extended absence, you know what extended absence is, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Good. Why am I on it? Why are all my calls going directly into my answering machine? How come I'm not receiving notification that I have a voicemail sometimes for an hour and sometimes for an entire day? That's something that happens in your remote computer too. Now, what the last customer service representative I talked to told me she was going to do is she was going to get a hold of technical, and she was going to have technical change those settings in the remote computer since I didn't ask for them. And instead, she sent me to warranty. There isn't anything wrong with my phone. I have spent an extra $100 last month to include my phone on my Geek Squad account, and they can remote into your phone. There's nothing wrong with this phone. Yet, I've been told, well, maybe you have to change your SIM card, so I spent an extra $10 to change my SIM card, and that didn't solve the problem. And so I took the phone that I brought into my account, because you say you can bring your phone into the account, but you can't use any of the features on your phone. And now I can't even use that phone to communicate with anybody by text unless I'm hooked up to a Wi-Fi. And I didn't have to hook up to Wi-Fi for over a year to text with people. So you guys are messing with me. You are messing with me. Now, or maybe we can say that if you bring your own phone, we're not going to let you text. Because I already know, after I used the phone that I brought for 3 weeks, and I had your most expensive plan, I paid $60 and $10 for a hotspot. And then you disconnected my hotspot after 3 weeks. And you told me, well, you can't use your hotspot if you bring your own phone. And that violates, that means that what you have on the first page of your website, bring your own phone, is called bait and switch. So I paid the extortion, and I bought a phone that I found out from LG when I called them belonged to somebody else and was defective before. Now what LG wants Cricket to do when they get a defective phone back is to shred it, because it can't be fixed. It's an integral unit. It's all sealed. You cannot service them. But instead, what you did with the LG spree that I obtained from you was you received it from a customer who sent it back because it didn't work right. And then you put it back in your warehouse to sell to another sucker. You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to put me on extended absence when I don't want it. And what my previous contact, which is the same call, this call has been going on now for 4.5 minutes. Not 4.5, 53.5 minutes. And she said that's what she was going to do, but she sent me to warranty. That sent me back to a different customer service representative, so now I have to spend more time. It's time for you to connect me forthwith to a customer service representative.
I'm sorry about the
No, not a customer, excuse me, to a supervisor.
Let me quickly get you one.
Jeez Louise. This call is worth $500. Another day, another dollar. I'm going to have to wait to collect it, but I will collect it. And so will you, ladies and gentlemen, who are watching this video I'm making. You've heard these people lie to me several times. They will lie to you too. All they are interested in is getting your credit card number. That's all they're interested in. They are not interested in providing service. As a matter of fact, their last action in putting me on extended absence proves that they don't want to provide you with any service at all, or at least me. They are fucking with the wrong Jew. It's awfully quiet out there, but I'm still connected. I imagine I'm going to be disconnected just like I have been during this video, during these ongoing calls, when I have to call them back because they purposely disconnected me. And you can always tell when they purposely disconnect you because they're supposed to return your call when the caller gets dropped. My calls get dropped usually because they have their remote computer set up to give me less data speed exchange than it takes to even operate a voice call to somebody who lives a block away from me. I get no power bars lit when I'm trying to make a local call. But when I call 611, I get all the power bars that there are. I get as much signal as possible. That is something that they programmed into their system. Now I've been waiting for longer than they're not supposed to take, they've told me, we're not supposed to take any longer than 2 minutes to connect you with somebody. These people do not honor anything that they will tell you, especially if you have a pay-as-you-go account. I don't pay people who cheat me. I got a really shitty credit rating. But you know what? I don't care. Why should I care? These people are a subsidiary of AT&T. My attorney refers to them as a deep pocket defendant. My email address is jjssweet, and you just heard my phone number. You can call me. If you want to get in on a class action suit, you can call me. I already paid the fee. We've got 1,668 people that I know of to date, but we want more. We want to make this news. So please, contact me through email at jjssweetflags@yahoo.com, and we will sign you up for the big money giveaway provided by AT&T, a deep pocket defendant. So far, I have made $1,500 today. I am going to get paid what I get when I work in a recording studio for over 100 hours worth of phone calls I've had with these people that I've had to make with them just to keep my phone kind of running. I will unpause this video when somebody picks up the phone. We've all got better things to do than to listen to dead air. I expect I'm going to be disconnected, as per usual, and I won't get a call back. They're supposed to call you back if the call gets dropped. But when they know that they've hung up on you, they don't call you back. We will resume this tape when somebody picks up their call that they don't want to pick up. After about a 20-minute wait, I'm getting music that is indicating to me that I'm going to a department that I shouldn't be sent to, or I'm going to be disconnected. I'm going to pause the tape again. Well, it's not. I'm old school. It's a video. It goes onto a card. It's not a tape.
Thank you so much for holding.
You're a supervisor?
No, I'm not a supervisor. I just came to just update you. The manager is still wrapping up on another call, and we will be with you shortly, okay?
Well, I've already hung on, waiting for a supervisor for almost a half of an hour.
Yes, I do apologize about that. That is why I felt that I should come back and update you to just let you know that you will be assisted shortly. We're just wrapping up on another call.
Yes, well,
All right.
assistance is
I
all
won't take you on hold
relative.
anymore. I'm just going to go silent, okay?
Thank you.
All right.
Now, I have been waiting to talk to this supervisor for nearly an hour. And as we just heard, they were just finishing up after I'd been waiting for nearly a half an hour. And what they are doing is something that they have done to me often. They're waiting for my battery to run out of juice. But I'm connected to the wall because I'm wise to that shtick. This is the kind of shit you get from cricket. You get the same kind of shit from T-Mobile. You get the same kind of shit from... No, I can't say that. iWireless never tried to do this to me. But when I told them that when they throttle me down to less than 128 kilobytes, and you know that's in their terms and conditions too. They're not supposed to do that. That I could lose contact with my website, and if I'm in a page editing it, I could either lose the page, I might even lose my whole site. But I don't have to worry about that now because, and let me tell you about Google. Google insists you have an email account with them because everything's Google. Because the government wants to be in your shit. And Google was one of the first companies that decided, okay, we'll submit. And they provide access to your account and everything that you've said and done, which will be very dangerous for the federal government to use to try to further destroy my reputation. Because a lot of things that I have said to scammers, which are self-deprecatory, are not true. So I'm just waiting for the feds to slander and libel me in those respects, because they really can't do that. Because there's things about unmasking people. They really can't use what I have said to scammers to get them to try to scam me sooner. As many of you on Facebook have seen from my posts, I don't like scammers. I think that most scammers cruise the profiles of people that they find on dating sites and Facebook and other social websites so that they can make what you would call a cold call and introduce themselves to you and tell them how desirable they find you. I'm an old fart, and when I get a message or a contact from somebody who's half my age who says that they're interested in an old fart like me, that just raises a red flag all by itself. Anyway, I'm going to pause the video again because these people are waiting for my battery to run out. That's what they're waiting for. And when they find out that I'm still on the line and I still got power, they're going to disconnect me. These people don't want to talk to me again because I'm right. These people changed my account. They changed it without my permission. They put me on a thing that's called extended absence, which directly sends your calls to your answering machine, to your voicemail, And they're not supposed to do that. But that's what they've done. Because they want me to disconnect from them. Get another phone company. So while we're taking the time to for these people to hang up on me so I can call them again, I want to tell my viewers about a scam that is prevalent on online. Say you're looking for a house. Say you're looking for a new apartment. Say you're looking for some place to live. Now in Davenport, the police will not respond to wire fraud. They just won't do it. So they refuse to take a report of wire fraud, which they're supposed to do. And what people will do when you place an ad on Craigslist or in the paper or anywhere where these people can find that you need a home is that they will contact you. And no matter what, no matter how much money or how little money you can afford to give them, they'll take it. And then they will make it impossible for you to live in whatever you've rented. And if they can't get you to move out, they will go and they will post with the county attorney's office or the state's attorney's office, depending on which state you live in, because they call it a different thing. It's the same kind of agency. It's the state's attorney or county attorney for the county you live in. And they'll tell them some kind of vague lie so that you're evicted. Last time that happened to me, and the state will evict you. They will send pigs to your house, and they will force you to leave, even though you paid rent. And there you have it. That is a common scam. And in the city of Davenport, Iowa, and in Rock Island, Illinois, the county attorney refuses to take your report because they can't get it from the police, and the police won't take your report, which kind of makes them involved in that wire fraud. Wire fraud is a crime for which some management guy in this company is guilty of. I mean, I'm talking to people who've committed wire fraud on me because it was on the telephone, which are actually the people that we just heard talk. They will lie to you on the phone. When they lie to you on the phone about anything, they've committed wire fraud. These people commit wire fraud. Cricket commits wire fraud. T-Mobile commits wire fraud because they lie to you. They lie to you about everything. That's called wire fraud. That's worth more than 5 years in prison. But the government doesn't want to deal with these people because the government wants a favor from these people. They want to do something right now that's unconstitutional. And I am here, and I'm going to state my opinion, that when I saw the Twin Towers collapse, that it was obviously a controlled demolition. That controlled demolition was able to be conducted because George Bush's brother was in charge of security in the Twin Towers and in the World Trade Center complex. And 6 weeks before 9/11 happened, they had canceled the patrols which were conducted by dogs that can sniff explosives. They did that 6 weeks before the Twin Towers came down. There are 5,000 structural engineers and architects who designed buildings such as the Twin Towers.
Excuse me, sir.
Hello?
Oh, listening to the education about the twin towers. They don't want to disturb you.
Excuse me?
But so this is Don, one of the subject matter experts on the floor. My forgiveness for please accept my apologies for keeping you waiting for so long. It's just
Yeah,
now, and,
there's
would
been
be
quite.
advised that you would like to speak to.
You know, you guys changed my account without my permission. And you have programmed into your system that I'm supposed to be on extended absence when I did not desire that. You did that without my consent and without my knowledge. And that started about 45 days ago. Now,
Okay, so
as you might be aware, I have already retained an attorney. You have lost me since you began to divert all of my calls that I must receive on my phone. You've diverted those to my voicemail directly. And the 3 experts that my attorney is going to call on to testify in federal court are going to say that this is a totally unscrupulous practice. Now, it took me quite a while to have you file a trouble ticket. You don't need to file a trouble ticket about this problem because you already know it exists. And it is not unreasonable for me to tell you that you should forthwith get into your system, which is called the remote computer, and adjust it so that my calls come directly to my phone. Now, during the past 2 weeks, I have had to make 7 trips to the cricket facility, which is located at 422 East Locust Street in Davenport. And every time I've gone there, I was told I could go there to get my phone troubleshot. But you know, they don't do troubleshooting in your store. They don't do that. They just make accounts and sell phones. That's what they do. And they told me that. After I was told to make a round trip of 6 miles in heavy traffic. And you know, my car was stolen and I only had liability, so I'm doing this on a bicycle. I'm 66 years old. I have gone there to refresh my system. And after my system is refreshed, I'm able to receive a phone call directly for maybe an hour. And then, because of what you have instructed your system to do, then I don't get phone calls. They go right into my answering machine. Since this started, I've lost $1,200 worth of work. And because of another aspect of your service, which is unscrupulous, you caused me to lose another $400 of work. And that unscrupulous business concerns your not allowing me to send an SMS picture because you have throttled me down to less than a kilobyte per second. And I know this because I have an account with Geek Squad. And last month, I gave them an extra $100 to get into my phone, which you were telling me was obviously broken. There's nothing wrong with the phone I'm using. Now, last night, or yesterday afternoon, I took the phone that I brought to my account because, you know, the first page of your website says bring your own phone. I did. As a matter of fact, I prepped you guys for a week asking questions. And apparently, your customer service representatives are trained to just tell a prospective customer anything that they think that customer wants to hear. According to your terms and conditions, as interpreted by my attorney, who is a federal attorney, because that's where I'm taking you guys, to federal court, I've given this guy a $700 retainer. We have 1,668 people, when I last talked to my attorney, who are going to be engaged in this class action suit. And the thing is, we have 2 more years to file it. So God knows how many more people are dissatisfied with your service, but I'm going to find out.
Okay.
Now, wait a minute. Before you interrupt me, I mean, I've been on this call for over 2 hours waiting for you. Now, when I play in a recording studio, I get $500 an hour. And by the way, when I go into that recording studio, it is understood that if it only takes me 15 minutes to lay down the tracks they want me to lay down, I still get $500. And that's what's going to happen in federal court. Now, so far, I have over 100 hours, well over 100 hours of calls with you. So, you know, that comes out to $50,000 basic, just for 100 hours worth of calls. Now, what you've done is that it took me a month to get a trouble ticket filed because I thought one was filed last month. And I found out on the 23rd of this month that you lied to me, that you gave me a fake case number. You never filed a trouble ticket. And on the 23rd of this month, I found that out. So I spent another couple hours of the phone arguing with customer service representatives and supervisors alike about filing that trouble ticket. And I allegedly have one that's filed. But you don't need a trouble ticket because you know by looking at my file that I have been placed, my account was changed without my consent. And I am on a thing called extended absence, which automatically transfers all of your calls to your voicemail. So you know what the problem is because I know what the problem is. Now, I was advised by the experts who my attorney uses in cases like this to delete my voicemail and start it up again. And what ends up happening is I was told that I'm on extended absence, and if I want to remove that, I have to punch the number 3. Now, in order to get into your system at all and be talking to you, I am instructed by your answering machine when the call first is instigated to dial in my phone number. Now, my phone number has several 3s in it, so I know that my 3 key works, and I know you receive it. Yet, when I am told by my voicemail prompt to punch 3 to get me out of extended absence, that doesn't work. And I am told by 3 experts in this business that this can be a common practice. My phone isn't broken. I paid an extra $100 to have Geek Squad put my phone on my account, which formerly covered 3 laptops. Now it covers my phone. They were able to remote into my phone. There's nothing wrong with my phone. I started getting an excuse from some of your people who told me, well, because you have a call blocker on your phone, that might be causing that to happen. I've always had a call blocker on my phone. You only started giving me that argument when I told you I had a call blocker on my phone. But that's not what is causing this to happen. What's causing this to happen is that your system either has a device which is referred to as the remote computer, or it's your whole system. And you changed my account and you put me on extended absence. Now I'm telling you that you're going to change that now. Because when I finally got, after arguing for so many hours, to get a trouble ticket filed, you filed it, apparently. And I know I received a call from you, not that we could talk to me directly, but it went right into my answering machine. And when it went into my answering machine, you told me, or have written in your file, that the problem is solved. You didn't work on the problem at first because you know you don't have to work on it, because you did this yourselves. Now, about an hour and a half ago, I was told by a customer service representative, because I explained this in no uncertain terms, I said, you will contact technical. You will have them go into your remote computer, and you will change my account back so that I am not on extended absence. And instead of getting back to me with verification that she had done that, she sent me to warranty service, which I don't need. And you know, you guys have done this to me several times during the past more than a year that I've been associated with you. This is one of your techniques to get somebody off the phone. Another one of your techniques is that you try to make somebody wait to talk to a supervisor for so long that you expect their battery to run out. Well, I've got my charger plugged into my phone because I became hip to that practice. So my phone doesn't die during a call. And that's why I'm still able to talk to you now. Now, you have no business doing this to me. You are going to pay me $500 an hour for every hour that I have logged that I've talked to you. And I have logged those calls in a very interesting way, and I'm not going to discuss with you how that way is. But it's legal. You are like a person who decides that I was paying you for your most expensive kind of account. All right? I had a hotspot. I was paying $70 a month. And I brought my own phone. And you knew that. I was bringing my own phone. And for 3 weeks, my first 3 weeks, I was able to use my hotspot with no problem at all. And I still had my 10 gigs, some of my 10 gigs left when my hotspot was cut off. And I was then told, well, if you bring your own phone, you can't use the features in it. That's called bait and switch. That is called bait and switch. It is illegal. So there's going to be punitive damages here besides. And when I found out that I had to buy a new phone, and I found out that you had lied to me during the time that I vetted you, I decided to do a little experiment. And I didn't use my hotspot for a couple of days. And when I finally connected it up with the new phone you sent me, I found out that you were taking data from my hotspot account, which, by the way, is a separate account because I'm paying $10 extra. You're taking data off of my hotspot just when I'm using my phone. And you're not allowed to do that.
So, sir, I'm sorry to cut you short. But I hear everything that you're talking about, right, in regards to your mobile hotspot.
You're going to have to speak up. You're going to have to speak up. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
You're going to have to speak up.
Can you hear me now, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you a little better.
Alright. So, first things first, I would need to access your account to see exactly what you have been talking about, right? So, may I please have your contact number?
Yes, just a moment. Just a moment.
Through the notes, right? And I can see that there was a case that was created, a few cases actually, and the one case that was created is currently being solved.
Now, just a moment. Now, that's interesting. Let me intercede here for just a moment. When I got that last trouble ticket filed on the 28th, on the 23rd of this month, and I was told the trouble ticket was filed on the 28th of last month, when it wasn't. I finally was able to get a trouble ticket filed on the 23rd. And it's about this problem of being put into a thing called extended absence. So knowing that I'm on extended absence, and I don't want that, your technical squad calls me and they go right into my answering machine. So they know the problem is still going on because that's what you have programmed. You programmed that. I didn't. Instead of taking me off extended absence, you have made it so that your remote computer ignores my command when I press the 3 to take me off of extended absence. That, you know what, that shows malice. That shows malice. There are going to be punitive damages awarded. Now, I don't think that I'm out of line to suggest to you that regardless of your insistence that nobody can get a hold of me in a week. I mean, I am not able to get a phone call this weekend. Every time I have done a 6-mile round trip to your facility at 422 Locust Street, they would refresh my system and I'd be able to get a few calls, and then your remote computer catches it, and then I can't get a call again. You know, I would have been working this weekend. This is when musicians work. But I can't get a call. So, somebody who needs me at the last minute is going to have to call somebody else. And now I'm getting a reputation for being unreliable. That shows I'm going to get punitive damages. So, I don't think it's out of line for me, since I know what the problem is and you know what the problem is, for you to get a hold of your technical team forthwith and have them go into your remote computer and take me off of extended absence since you programmed your remote computer to ignore my commands.
Okay. Right. So, Mr. Sabloff, from my end, right, as I was mentioning that I can see that there was a ticket that I sent, and the guys at the technical department are still working on it.
No, they're not.
Yeah,
No, they're not. No, they are not. They are not, and I know that. Wait. Just wait before you pipe up again. I've already told you. They know that I have been put on extended absence and I didn't authorize that in any way. They also know that your remote computer has been told to ignore my commands issued from the keypad of my phone. They know that. And when they called me, and they already knew my phone was going to go right into my voicemail. They knew it because it's in the file. Has to be in the file. If it isn't in the file, you're lying. Because that's what you told the remote computer to do. I didn't. Furthermore, according to my experts, you have told your remote computer to ignore any command that I issue from my phone except when I call customer service and I give you my phone number, which has 3s in it. You can read the 3 then, but you can't read the 3 when I'm talking to my voicemail? No, that's not the way it works. You told my voicemail to ignore my commands. Now, I don't know why you're doing this to me, but it's going to stop instantly. Because when they called me and it went into my voicemail, they decided that the problem was solved and they weren't going to work on it. Because I didn't do that. You are going to have that changed, and you're going to have it changed forthwith. You are going to send an immediate email to your technical crew, and by 12 o'clock on Monday afternoon, I had better be receiving calls. Otherwise, there's going to be more punitive damages. Now, I'm not going to discuss this with you anymore because I've spent 2.5 hours doing that. And because of the salary I receive, you now owe me for 2.5 hours $1,500 more. And that's going to be a judgment delivered by the court because that's what I make. And I am not your secretary. I am not part of your crew. You are going to pay me for the time that you have caused me to waste. You're going to pay me for every hour $500. And if there's a piece of an hour left over, you're going to pay me $500 for that too. And since there's well over 100 hours worth of calls that I have logged on video, I'm going to get all that money. I record you guys when I talk to you because you don't have to say anything. You can tell me, well, I didn't give you permission to do that. No, the law does. When your answering machine tells me right off the bat that this call is going to be recorded, according to the law in my country, in every jurisdiction, when you tell me I have no expectation of privacy, that means I can record you. So I do. Now, I have over 100 hours of you people lying to me and being evasive. And so far, for 45 days, you've had me on a program that I didn't authorize, which makes it so that I can't work. You had better change it. And you had better change it forthwith. And I mean before Friday. We've got up to 5 business days to contact you. And when you contact me, and it goes into my answering machine, you're going to say, well, problem solved. No, it's not solved. You're going to take that off of my account. You're going to get me out of extended absence. God damn it! And you're going to do it now. I hope that we're communicating. I hope we're communicating. I hope we're communicating, son of a bitch. Don't you fuck with me because you're fucking with the wrong Jew. This is Dmitry Ivanovich with the Naked Truth.